turning the mics on. Okay, welcome back to Natural Parenting Talk with Lauren and Kima.
Welcome back.
Hopefully we have the technical difficulties straightened out, and our folks on Facebook. Yep, we got a thumbs up on Facebook, so they can see us now and hear us.
Hi,
so.
Keisha.
So that's great. Now, I believe we were talking about, talking with you, Carmen, about Codename Mama and kind of your influence around it. I know that you said you have moms from all over. If you don't mind, can you repeat what you said just for the people on Facebook that didn't get a chance to hear you?
And before you do that, hi, Bianca. Hi, Tequila. I just wanted to, they've been really trying to get on. So.
Sure. Okay, am I doing it all of it or just that last part?
Maybe just like a little snippet.
Okay,
yeah.
So
sorry,
I was basically, no, you're totally fine. I was basically just saying that because of Instagram, it's been so awesome that we are able to connect with people from all over. And I was saying that a lot of our engaged followers there's a few in Canada, there's one in Alabama, one in North Carolina, just all over. And, Lauren lives in Arizona too.
Your sister, Lauren.
Yeah, my sister, Lauren. Sorry, I know that's confusing. I'm going to have to
like
make
every
sure
time
to
I hear
specify.
Lauren, I'm like, what?
Yeah, I got to specify. So my sister, Lauren, lives in Arizona. So that's also something that was important to us, that we were able to connect with, even though our mommy meetups are only local here in Dallas, we still wanted to connect with moms, all over.
Right, right.
Yeah, I think that's the really great thing about Instagram and business.
Yes.
Is that you are able to connect with so many different people, different areas and all of that. So I think that's really great, especially for creating like a mom, following and that kind of thing on Instagram is really great for that.
Okay, now we can talk about Little Muffin Cakes again.
Yes.
Okay, and if any radio listeners, you won't be able to see the cuteness, but Facebook viewers can, and it goes back and forth to we have two cameras going here, so you got to face it to both. I don't know.
Well, one of the cameras will get it.
Let me take one of the packages. And it'll go back and forth. But anyway, this is how we met, Deborah. So when it gets to this camera and you see the cuteness, this is how we met. We carry Little Muffin Cakes at Crunchy Boutique, and the blankets and bibs and swaddles and what's it called?
Wrapping paper,
loveys
and
wrapping paper
Yes.
and beautiful. We absolutely love it. And on this camera, it looks like I'm doing it backward, but. You can go to our website to get a really good picture.
Yes.
And we met through Carmen.
Yes.
Carmen was the glue here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. We got to support each other.
Exactly. But that goes back to what we said before, representation matters. And really the interesting thing about the whole representation matters concept when it comes to something like this is that we've had several of our white customers come in and say, "Oh my God, you've got black faces.
Wow.
I've got a family member, or I've got a in fact, we had somebody come in and she said, my granddaughter is mixed, and so I wanted something that looked like her." And then we had one of our friend, a customer who is now a friend, wanted to buy August a book for his birthday. Remember?
Yep.
And she said, I had no idea that black faces were not on books. And she said she had to search high and low to find a book with a black child on it because she didn't want to give him a book where he didn't see himself, which I thought was very considerate.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you think it's just a minor thing, a bib or a blanket or whatever, but if you see yourself on it, that's, and if you see yourself all the time, you don't even think about it. That's not, but for us, it's like, oh my God, a black child.
Yes.
So really cool. And Bianca says she bought her first Little Muffin Cakes. Oh, she's from us. Okay. Thank you. And Tequila is echoing representation matters. It does. I know we say that all the time. We're a broken record where that's concerned, but it does.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So why Little Muffin Cakes, that name? Where did you get the name from?
I'm really into cutesy names. And so Muffin Cake is something that I've called people for years, or Sugar Plum or something like that. And so when it was time to name the business, you don't know what you're going to name your business. So, I have this long list, and I'm Little Muffin Cakes. It was something that just
Yeah.
stuck with me.
And it definitely works. It's really, really cute.
It's a cute name.
I actually had a business consultant, and he said Little Muffin Cakes is not a good name. He said, I think it would confuse your customers. They're going to think it's a bakery. And I'm like,
Who would think? Well,
you're fired. You're not a woman, so no.
yeah, no, it's really cute. I love
Thank
it.
you.
So, Carmen, how did you come up with the name Codename Mama?
So actually, my nephew, my sister Lauren's oldest, he is one of those where he'll probably go off to, like some space school, at like the age of 12. Like he's one of like those, like
he's going places.
Right. And so needless to say, his conversations are never about like, oh, Mom, someone picked their booger at school. Like it's always like, hey, did you know that, this, and this? Like, he's always giving facts. And so he just told my sister one day, he was just like, and we were the same way. You never know what you're going to name it. And we had, like, some things, like, floating around, but we weren't quite sure. And he just was like, hey, Mama, like, what's super cool? Like, he was watching some superhero movie. I forgot what it was, but he was just like, Mama, you have, like, so many roles, and you have like two different identities. Your name is Lauren, but your code name is Mama.
Oh, that's cute.
And so we were just like,
wow,
thank you, like for free. Like so it was just like code name Mama, and that really is, we took that on. And we ran with it, and we embody that. Like, we definitely, and I think that's another thing. People might get confused because our main seller shirt is motherhood over everything. And so some people think, like, we even had a blogger when we were having some of our bloggers represent us. They were just like, I really don't, she's a mom, and she was like, I really don't identify and support this, like support that it's motherhood over everything, because she was just like, I believe in keeping your own self and things like that. And I agree. And I think that's a little bit of a misconception, but the purpose of Codename Mama and that being the name is just like he said, like we have so many hats, and our name is gonna forever be Carmen, Deborah, like Kima, Lauren. It's always, that's our name, but we do have a code name that not everyone has, and it is Mama, and that's just so special that even at his age, he sees that the role and the mantle that his mother carries is different because she is his mom. It's not just
No, you know what,
a regular woman.
that brings us into a conversation we can have right now.
There we go.
Because we said this is going to be about motherhood, grandmotherhood, and all that. I agree with motherhood over everything. And I say this to Brandon and Lauren all the time. You have your kids for such a short time. You blink. I mean, she was an infant a minute ago, I swear. And so I think that motherhood over everything is definitely the mantra during that time that they're under your care, because it's over in a blink.
For sure.
So I put everything aside. Everything is secondary. I know I can't go. I knew I'm not going out to party. Not that I was really a party person anyway, but it wasn't about me. For that 18 years or whatever period of time, it was not about me at all. It was, I mean, not to say I didn't ever do anything for myself, but they were the focus, and they were over everything. So I'm sure there are, and Jennifer says me too. I'm sure there are people who don't agree, but for me, I would rock motherhood over everything and mean it. For sure.
Yeah, for me, I guess from her point of view, maybe it sounds like more of a burden, or not like a burden. I don't know if that's the right word, but motherhood over everything. Maybe she's thinking like, I can't, do the things that I want to do, go after my own desires.
And that's
but
so
I don't,
false.
Yeah, and I don't see it that way at all. I mean, the things that I'm able to do for my son, I enjoy doing. I mean, from the changing the diapers even, it's like, these are things that I want to do for you. So I don't see it, I don't know, I don't see it that way, I guess.
It definitely took us aback, because it was just weird. I never seen that point of view, but then it was also good that we heard that point of view, so we could address that point of view.
Or maybe have like, another shirt that says motherhood not over everything.
But it seems
Carmen
like,
over there.
yeah.
Right.
And it also seems like, with the codename Mama, which I love that background story. Do you have that on your website? You should.
We have it on our blog.
Yeah, somebody
Okay.
Tequila commented and said she loves that story.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Because codename
Thank
Mama
you.
to me almost seems like you're Superman.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
my
Like
base,
like a secret agent or something.
At my base, no matter what I'm doing, if I hear somebody say "mommy," what do you need?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm turning around, I'm helping, I'm
And
there
you can
for
hear
you.
sometimes it's not the same, but you can hear your child over every other child when they say mama.
And the interesting thing about that, and I'm sure, Deborah, you will agree with me, that no matter how old your children get, you still hear mom.
Yes.
I still turn around in Target, even though my children are grown, and I know that they're calling me from a baby voice or whatever, but if I hear mom, I'm turning around like, yes,
Yeah, it
how
is.
may I help you?
Yeah, it's like that superhero thing. Like, what do you need?
Right.
Let me take my cape.
Right.
Okay, so Carmen and Lauren are both first-time moms. So I'm curious for you to tell us, is it what you expected? What are some of the surprises? How is it different from what you thought?
You want me to go first?
Sure.
Okay. I think that I didn't expect, which is gonna be weird, I guess to say, but I guess I didn't expect it to be so emotional. Just motherhood in general, and now I'm about to cry. But it really is.
Oh, she is crying. Oh my gosh.
Lauren.
I told you.
It's the hormones.
It is.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna
I'm
blame
just
it.
gonna look away.
Yeah, I'm gonna blame it on the second trimester, but it is like that saying of what it feels like to have your heart on the outside.
Right.
You
For
know,
sure.
it's a thing I can't even. I'm not explaining it right, but I can't explain it.
But we do
It's-
understand.
I was about
Yeah.
to say you are. You are. I get completely
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah, but that's one thing I didn't expect is it for it to be so emotional. And in the beginning, newborn stage, I didn't expect to be so tired.
It's funny that you say that because on my time hop yesterday, a picture came up. We were driving back from MommyCon, and you were in the back seat of the car, knocked out sleep. And I took the picture because I was just, when I saw her, I was thinking, oh my gosh, she's so tired.
It is, because people tell you like, oh, like you're never going to
Yeah.
sleep again, whatever, but you don't realize how tired you are and how well you can function
Yeah.
being so tired.
Yes.
Yes.
So those are probably two things, two of the many, many things that I didn't expect. So
What do you think,
Yeah.
Carmen?
So I'm gonna have to agree. Probably with both. I remember, speaking of being so tired, I remember one time my mom was over because my mom took like a week off to come. So like it was like paternity leave, and then once my husband went back, my mom had taken off, so she was there with me. So it was awesome. But I remember once she was like, okay, go take a nap. And I was like, what's that? Like, what am I supposed to do during the nap? She's like, no,
Not
just go
sleep,
take
huh?
a nap. Right. But here I was, I don't even know how long. It felt like I was asleep for like an hour. And it was probably only 10, 20 minutes. And I just popped up in such a panic. Like, is he okay? Is he? And she was like, and she saw like, kind of like what you were saying. Like, oh, she's so tired. She was like, if you don't calm down, it's like you're going to send yourself into a panic like that. And, I think, so, okay, I have mine. The other thing, because this segues into it, I think the other thing is, and this is one of our structured talks that we talk about, just a little transparency. I dealt with anxiety before having a baby. And so once I had him, my anxiety went through the roof. And, dang it, Lauren. No, because it was so hard because you always hear about postpartum depression, but you don't hear about postpartum anxiety. So I was always like thinking like the worst, like preparing myself for the worst. Like, okay, I'm going to roll over and he's, going to, have passed, like in his
Oh,
sleep.
wow.
Like I was just preparing myself because you always hear, you get fed constantly of, you know, just the worst
Yeah.
situations, and you don't hear about the positive situations. So, and it stressed me out because he's a stomach sleeper. And I was like, when he came, you know, of course, back in the day, it was like, and my mom was, and that was another thing. My mom was like, are you alive?
Yeah.
Are your 2 other siblings alive?
Yeah.
I'm like, don't do that, Mom. And she was gracious enough to, you know, let me, you know, understand that. But I finally accepted it once I realized that the only time he would go down for nap time was with Grandma, and she would have him sleeping on his stomach. But I was, you know, when I did wake up from that panic from my nap, it was because of that. It was out of fear of like, I missed something. He rolled off, you know, and the thing was, is he was in a bassinet.
Yeah.
It can't even roll. So it's one of those things where I didn't expect to be in my head so much. And I had to start guarding myself, guarding my heart, guarding my spirit, you know, feeding myself with positive things, you know, scrolling past that story on Facebook that says, oh, infant did this, and this, and didn't make it. You know, I could not feed into that because it was almost crippling, you know, and I would stay up to watch him, you know, make sure every single thing was right. And it was hard, you know, but it was something that I had to talk about. You know, I talked to my husband about it because, you know, he had to, you know, protect me as well, not tell me stories of just, and we actually, the other day, something happened unfortunate at a lake. And it was one of those things to where he was like, I shouldn't have told you. Like, as soon as it left his mouth, he was like, dang it. Because I just need that help of protecting myself and guarding my heart. So being a parent, you know, you do have your heart on the outside of you now. And that's why I said you explained it. Like, I completely identified with that. So I definitely didn't expect that to be so, like I said, crippling and aggressive.
Yeah, I can see that. Now I want to talk about grandparenting a little bit, just a hot second. I have 9 with number 10 on the way.
There you go.
And I know you have at least one.
Yes, one.
Just one. Okay. Okay. So my question to you, and I'll answer this too, because I definitely experienced a lot of what both of you described being a mom, but as a grandmother, all the rules change.
Right.
It's totally different. Yeah. So what is something that you see yourself doing, feeling, thinking, or whatever as a grandmother that you did not as a mother?
Well, actually, I was a teen mother.
Okay.
So I had my twins when I was 17 years old.
Okay.
So when I found out I was going to be a grandmother, I'm like, no, I'm not ready. I just finished raising my kids. And I didn't expect to, like, get so excited. So thank God it's 9 months. So it gave me time to adjust and get ready for him. But having him is like, I've heard the saying, I can't think of how it goes. Your children are blessings and your grandchildren are presents.
Oh, okay.
Because you don't have to worry about all the things that you had to worry about as a parent.
Right.
All you get to do is love on them and play with them, and you don't have to worry about what they're going to eat and, you know, all that, where they're going to live and where they're going to go to school. You don't have to worry about those kinds of things. So
Right.
he is a present.
Right. And I agree. That's the wonderful thing about grandparenting is that, like you said, you get to love on them, and I enjoy them so much, and they're all so different. They have distinct personalities, and they all seem to love me. But it really is wonderful to be able to say, oh, wait a minute, that's not my responsibility.
Yes.
Oh, I don't have to figure that out. I don't have to do that. I don't have to change a diaper if I don't want to. I don't have to babysit if I don't want to. I don't have to be up all night.
Yes.
I did expect that, so that wasn't unexpected. So I guess for me, the unexpected part is just enjoying it so much. Oh my gosh. I mean, I thought being a mom was rewarding, and I loved it. Like I said, I wore that proudly. I was mother. What do you say? Motherhood over everything. Motherhood over everything. But now it's like grandparenting, over everything. It's just one. I did not expect to just love it as much as I do. The kids are coming,
And they see
Fast.
us
They're coming
differently
fast.
too. And they see us differently too. They know we're not their mothers.
They do.
And they still love us so much. So.
They do. And it's funny because one of my granddaughters, Callie, she is 20 months.
Yeah, she's actually 21. Or
Okay.
about to be 21.
So she's just a little older than August. We call them the cousilings because they're so close in age. But we say that they're more than cousins, not quite siblings. That makes them cousilings. But anyway, what's funny about her is that if anybody says anything that hurts her feelings or makes her mad or whatever, and this has just been over the last few weeks,
Yeah.
she will close her eyes and start a fake cry and come to me for comfort. And as a grandmother, I'm like, oh, come on, baby. What they do to you? I'll make it better for you. So, yeah. And if my children had done that,
Right.
I would have, I'm the old school, and I say this all the time. It's like, okay, we can ready to tap some legs or something,
Oh,
like,
yes.
knock it off.
Right.
Yes.
But with her, it's like, oh, my gosh, that's the sweetest thing.
I think it's funny watching.
Uh-huh.
You're like, if I would have done that.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And it's funny because my brother, he always says that my mom's gone soft.
Yes.
We
Yes.
deserve
Like-
to be soft.
Yeah, like my niece will do
Exactly.
something and he'll say like, oh, you're not dealing with the OG mom.
I mean, even my dad, I'm like, bro, who are you?
That's what Brandon says to me all the time. Who are you?
Yeah, and it's like you got to catch yourself because on a couple of things you're like frustrated. You're like, Dad, like because he was he's a little harder than my mom was, and so even just to watch him, like all 4 of his grandchildren are equally as important, and I'm just like, Dad, you did not why are you trying to give him ice cream? Like you didn't even,
Yeah.
we had to ask when
Yeah.
we were like 7 to have ice cream. So
Yeah.
why are you giving him ice cream?
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah, it's different, but like you said, we earned that right. So,
earned it,
and
yes.
actually, I chuckle sometimes when I let them get away with certain things, or I let them do certain things, and knowing that or they'll come to me for an answer when their parents say no. They'll look at me and I'll say, "Yeah, come on,"
And then they're looking at you
Yeah.
too, the parents.
Right.
So yeah, it can be a lot of fun. I'm absolutely enjoying it. Like I said, they're coming fast and steady. They can slow up a little bit.
These are
but-
childbearing years.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
but yeah, I really really enjoy it. In fact, that's why I have my Grandma Gone Wild T-shirt that I wear all the time, and that's my name on social media, Grandma Gone Wild, because I go wild with my grandchildren.
Yeah,
So
you do.
What do they call you?
well, all of them call me Grandma except one.
Well, 2. Because
yeah.
August calls you the same.
Yeah, August and Aaliyah call me Mama.
Mama.
Now, Aaliyah started that. She's my rebel grandchild. She's the one that, I say this all the time. She'll knock your block off. She will.
In a hurry.
She is fearless. She's something else. So I think she just, determined in her mind she was going to be different. So, yeah.
So before we get ready to take our break, let's turn to the business side for a couple minutes. With you, Carmen, can you tell us what kinds of things you're doing regarding promoting, just for people who are interested in starting a small business of their own, and maybe they want some tips on how to grow their business
Or balance business and motherhood.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so vast. Okay. So let's talk about the promoting first, like the business side. I have to definitely say, just start, have your idea, and, start. Now, make sure you try to stay, like, in sync, like you're not all over the place. But just start. That was kind of what Lauren and I did. We had down what we wanted to do, and we just created a Instagram page and just started from there. I think the misconception is that you have to, get your LLC. You have to get, your name, branded first. You have to do all of this stuff. And that's awesome. Definitely, do that in the early stages so you can not be limited to things as you're going on. But you don't have to have that just to start an Instagram page, And as far as promoting it, you just have to know what your brand is, who you are and what your brand is, because you don't want to just promote with a golf tournament that's all men. I know golf is not just a men's sport anymore, but I'm just saying, like, you don't want to promote on the PGA
To the
Tour,
wrong people. Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Well,
To the
who's
wrong
gonna,
audience.
who's gonna buy you on the PGA Tour? And so it's just like you have to know, like, your audience, know yourself, and so promote in that vein. And don't be afraid to ask. Reach out. I think it took me like forever, to even just come and talk to y'all, because I was so nervous, because you get in your head of like, well, people like my stuff, things like that. And now we're in 3 different stores, and it's just like one of those things to where if you think that you have to have all this money, you don't. But if you think all of these things, then just stop. And so like I said, you email people. Nowadays, if I still prefer email, but if you want to inbox them, put in their DM, then shoot that shot too. Just still be professional. And then as far as balancing things, just make sure your support system is on board with everything, whether it be your husband, your parents, whoever is helping you around. Make sure y'all are all on board, because they're going to be your help while you're trying to balance it.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay. And Deborah, we're going to ask you that same question when we come back, but we do have to take a break. But before we do, we'd like to give a shout out to Birth Texas. Birth Texas is a 501c3 nonprofit organization empowering expecting moms and birth workers through education and community events. Join them on July 21st at the Arlington Convention Center as they welcome Shafia Monroe for a fun-filled event on childbirth and parenting. Check out their Facebook group for more information, or visit Birth Texas to access their online guide to evidence-based birth providers in childbirth and parenting events throughout the Metroplex. Empower yourself with Birth Texas. Shout out also to Sky's the Limit Communications. Sky's the Limit Communications is a public relations firm dedicated to serving the healthcare industry. From large medical centers to small community hospitals, they provide the strategic counsel and effective tactics needed to engage your stockholders, inspire their support, and maintain their loyalty. They partner with you to advance greater access to high-quality, affordable health care for all people. Find them on the internet at Sky's the Limit PR. Thank you also to Simple Equation. Simple Equation is dedicated to fostering healthy communities through personal development to restore safe homes, schools, streets, and workplaces. You can find Simple Equation at simpleequation.com. And now we will take that break. We will be back with Dana Rainey and Carmen King in about 7 minutes. And you will hear silence during the break.
My husband said he's still living now.
Welcome back to Natural Parenting Talk with Lauren and Kima. We are here with Deborah Rainey and Carmen King, and we are discussing business, motherhood, and grandmotherhood. Now, when we left off, Carmen was talking about how you balance motherhood and business, and just some of the things that you've encountered and some of the things that you've done with your business to get it off the ground. And so I want to give Deborah the opportunity to talk about some of the same things. We were talking a little bit about the break, during the break, and so let's pick up there.
My experience, because I do have characters, my business is a little different, so I do have to invest the money. I'm going to have to make sure that I copyright my characters, and, you know, even though it's like over $2,000 to do the trademark, it's necessary.
Right.
Because I don't want to wait, and then someone else comes up with, oh, I have a Little Muffin Cakes too. So my situation was a little bit different.
And your characters are so cute. Can you tell us how did they originate?
Well, you know, I started with Zara actually because I wanted a little black ballerina, so it was hard to find an artist to actually take it. I found my artist on I don't know if you guys heard of it, Thumbtack.
Yes.
So you go on Thumbtack, you tell them what you're looking for, and then you have people like, you know, bidding for your business. And I only got one person that bid for my business.
Really?
And then she ended up being so amazing. So
That worked out then.
yeah, it worked out perfectly. And so I think that she thought I wanted something that's, you know, you're doing illustrations. Sometimes they want it really detailed. I'm like, this is for little kids. So, you know, I told her exactly what I wanted. So it was like, oh, okay, you want Afro puffs. I've never done this before.
Oh, okay.
You know, so I was like, okay. So we actually have more characters. It's just we started with 2.
Oh, okay. So down the line, you're going to be introducing other characters?
Yes.
Oh, cute.
Yes. And I'm actually having, you know, I have wrapping paper, and I'm also going to have greeting cards. So my next greeting card is, well, Zara is going to be my first one, then Ashton, and then my other characters will be introduced as far as my paper products are concerned.
Oh, nice. Oh, that'll be nice.
And so for promoting for me, it's been more of like doing pop-up shows and a little bit of Instagram. I just learned Instagram. I got on Instagram
learned Instagram?
I got on Instagram because of my business.
Look. Anybody who's listening now or later or whatever, go to Little Muffin Cakes. Go to Codename Mama also for sure. But go to Little Muffin Cakes on Instagram, especially. I don't know if I follow you on Facebook. You post more than we do.
Yeah, and I took a little bit of a break, but yes.
Not only that, but I don't know if you probably have noticed, there are always those perfect posts where the whole line across.
Well, you gotta do 3 at a time.
Yeah. And, I mean, I look at you in awe because there's no way. I just keep thinking that must take a lot of time because first of all, you've got to think about what you want to post.
Yes.
And then I don't know how you do that. I don't know how that works, but it looks great.
Well, you know, as far as budget is concerned, all of my money went into my products. So I was thinking, oh, now I need a photographer. I need models. What am I going to do? Then all of a sudden, I just started getting DMs. I love my customers. They just give me these pictures. So it's like, my prayers are answered. And I just went from there. And then now people want to be featured. And I love to have their babies on there.
I can't remember where it was. I meant to do a screenshot because I was going to repost it, but I was looking at something on social media yesterday and I was going to say, isn't that a Little Muffin Cakes blanket on your baby? I don't know who it was, but it was on Facebook, I think. But it's very distinctive. I mean, you know it when you see it. So.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And when I see it, you know, it just makes my day. So when I'm looking at Insta stories, because, you know, people that I follow, I actually interact with them. And every time I see it, I'm just like, I got to back up. And send them a message because it always means something to me.
And we actually sent one of your bibs to a celebrity.
Really?
And we've been on the lookout
to see
on
if
this celebrity.
Who is this celebrity?
We'll have to tell you later. Okay. but look, we're looking. It's like
every day. Like,
is that a Little Muffin Cake bib?
Yeah, I think last month this celebrity had a blanket on their baby, and we're like, oh my gosh, it's Little Muffin Cakes, but it wasn't. It was just it was another muslin blanket. It's like, oh my gosh,
but we're peeping every day.
Well, you know what? I actually worked with an influencer, Natalie Nunn, and I just didn't think that she was, you know, because I don't have a budget. You know, I don't know what I'm doing. You know, this is all new for me. And like you're saying, you email them and you just hope for the best.
Shot.
Yeah, shoot the shot. And she really liked my products. And so It has to be real. I mean, she just posted, her daughter is over 1, and she posted the swaddle blanket in Hong Kong.
Oh, wow.
So it's like they really love the product.
They really, they're really nice. I mean, really, really cute.
And good quality.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They're cute, but they're also quality. So, yeah.
So keeping on with our business conversation, what kinds of obstacles have you faced, if any?
2020 is, you know, if I could go back and do some things differently, I would, of course, but you know, it's all a learning process. If I could do it, like I said, if I could go back and do it again, I would have made products that more people could, you know, more reasonably priced, so that more customers and more children can actually have the product.
Okay.
And so that would be my next phase that I would actually do.
Okay. You have really, really nice packaging. Is that part of what drives up the price? I'm just curious.
It's when you buy products like this, you have a minimum of fabric that you have to purchase.
Oh, okay.
And so that is the issue. Now,
Okay.
if I could do it all again, you know, I would have created something a little cheaper, or created something that had, you know, both characters on one product. That would have been probably more, I don't know, but some people like pink, so
Yeah, I think it's
girl
adorable.
boy for right now.
And you know what's interesting is that we sell more of the girls.
Yeah.
For some reason, is that across the board?
Yeah.
Huh.
But in Canada, you know, I'm with Kids Swag in Canada, and she sells more boy stuff there.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what obstacles have you faced, Carmen?
I think for ours, it was finding what was also similar, like money wise, finding out what was good for us in our budget wise. You know, whether it be for our stores, you know, because at first we started out, you know, not knowing anything on how to do it. And so now what we do is, and we were losing money by having just like our shirts in stores and then waiting to hear back from companies. But so now what we do is they have to buy like six like
Pieces.
quantities, pieces of styles at a time. And then they can price it. And we had to get our wholesale numbers in. And so now that we got our wholesale numbers in, that's awesome. But, you know, our other obstacles is just trying to make sure that we get the correct look as far as like shirt wise. You know, we want to so bad. There's a company that we want to work with, and, you know, perfectly in the future we will, but they actually make nursing tops, and so custom, and so, you know, we'll have our own label in it, and, you know, we'll be able to design it and things like that. So I think the hardest thing is having to like work with other people's product and make it your own, you know, buying wholesale. And so, because we definitely still want to make sure that it's something that we would, you know, represent.
Right.
But yeah.
So do you still carry the nursing shirts? You still carry the like the ones that we saw originally?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. No, we have, and those are the ones out in. There's one in North Carolina, and it's a natural boutique. And so, yeah, all of there, and then there's one in Arizona, and there's one in California. But yeah, so all of those, they're all natural parenting ones, and it's our nursing tops. And so we're trying to get our regular ones out there, and so it'll happen, you know, in time.
For sure. Yeah, they're so. Bianca says she lives in North Carolina. Where's the store in North Carolina?
It is in, I want to say Wilmington. Am I allowed to say the store on the? Okay, it's called the Bump and Beyond.
Hey, look,
cute name.
Only go there for the shirt.
Yes, yes. And you have to actually go there. It's not like online. So, yeah, no, they're awesome. Stephanie, she's awesome. So yeah.
I think that question also applies to us when we talk about business. So I'm gonna interview you. What do you think our biggest obstacle? I'm putting you on the spot. We didn't even talk about this.
You are putting me on the spot. I'm gonna say,
But just to help people, you know.
our biggest obstacle, I think, has been, and I hate this because it seems like every show we talk about this. So you open this can of worms. So I'm just gonna. But I did not anticipate race being a factor. I did not anticipate that. I didn't
Right.
anticipate that being something that would either make people say I'm not shopping with you,
Right.
or making people say I'm going to shop with you.
Yeah.
I didn't anticipate either one.
Yeah.
You know, obviously people saying they would because we're black is a good thing, but the people who won't because we're black is something that I did not anticipate at all. So race being a factor at all, you know, and I'm usually aware of that kind of thing. I'm thinking about it, you know, I mean, it's just day to day you think about it, but where the shop was concerned, it just never occurred to me that that would influence people one way or the other. So yeah, that was an eye opener. And it's kind of directed, you know, the way that we move around to some degree. So I guess that was an obstacle that we're still trying to overcome.
I guess I can kind of agree with that. With the not knowing, you know, part and all of that, because I think it was during our sneak peek, and somebody came to me and they said, "Oh, so is this store just for black women?" And it was like, "Oh, wow." I didn't think I did anything to, you know, give that impression, and it's like I didn't even realize that was something we had to jump over or to let people know.
And then we were wondering, so did we do something to make you feel like you're not welcome here?
Yeah.
Or what would make you ask that? So
The products are all the same.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so that I think that definitely has been an obstacle.
yeah. I mean, there have been others, of course, but that was the most startling to me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I think you told us about your different products you have. So tell us where you're moving towards with Little Muffin Cakes.
I am trying to go through my inventory, of course. But like I said, I want to go into paper products. I do like doing wrapping papers, and the greeting cards is going to be something fun to do. But you know, I have a lot of more things coming in the future.
okay.
Well, we'll be sure
I
to
can't
look
tell
out.
you everything.
I know.
There's going to be some surprises, but I do have
We'll
a
be
lot.
sure to look out. If I could put in a request, a book would be really cool.
We already have a book written, actually.
Oh, really?
Yes. It's not printed yet, but yes, my daughter actually wrote a book for me.
Oh, how exciting.
Yes.
Well, yeah, we can't wait for that. She reads at least 3 books
Yeah.
to August every night. She says, and I'm going to say it anyway. She says she does the 4 B's at night.
Yeah,
before she puts in the
it's my
bed.
bedtime routine.
Okay.
So we do bath, books, boob, because he's still breastfed,
Right.
and then he goes to bed.
Right.
So
okay.
those are the 4 B's.
I love it.
Yeah.
So he's about, you know, she's reading the same book. I mean, he has a full library. Trust me,
Yes.
full library. But she reads so many that she goes through them so much. So yeah, she's always looking for books.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, I mean, because I do have characters, there's a lot of different ways that I can go. It's just that I need money, people.
Right.
And I don't necessarily want to have, like, borrow lots of money, you know, or I want to have a partner, but, you know, I don't have a partner, and I don't want to have, I don't want to have it funded by other people either, because I want to own my business.
Right.
And so what a lot of people tell me is, you should go on Shark Tank. And then what?
Yeah.
I don't want to be an employee of Shark, you know, whoever,
Right.
you know, my shark is. No, I don't want to do that.
It's funny about Shark Tank because I love that show, but I keep thinking there is no way that I would. I'm very, very much the introvert. So being in that setting and having them chew me up and spit me out like that, I would.
Yeah.
I wouldn't survive.
Yeah.
I would literally be in the Shark Tank.
Yeah, and then the thing with Shark Tank is even if you don't get a deal, they still own part of your business just for being on the show.
Are you
Really?
serious?
Yeah, that's like in the fine print. They still
I
get
did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I saw
used to-
one of them,
the
she
shit
ended
comes
up getting 33% taken off. You know, I was like, no.
Yeah, because they consider going on Shark Tank just being publicity anyway. So even if you don't get a deal, your business is still out there. So
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
didn't
no,
know that.
thank you.
Yeah, I don't think I knew that. That's crazy.
No, thank
Yeah.
you. You go on Shark Tank.
Oh, no. No. I don't want those problems because then I'd have to tell them about themselves. I'm like, well, that's not true. This is
So while I'm here,
right.
yeah, that show is intense. So what other products are you leaning towards? I know you said you want to have more of just the regular shirts and the nursing
And we're
tops.
going to have to talk about carrying some of your shirts too.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny when things are on consignment because we have diapers that are on consignment, which that does really well. But it's kind of different with other. We do have other products in the store that are consignment, but I agree with your change from consignment to just buy the shirts and sell the shirts.
Yeah.
it does make sense. I could see why you would do that. Yeah.
Thank you. So I do have to say to Deb, first of all, I love the cards, because when we were little, we'd like grab, Father's Day, Mother's Day card or whatever, and then we'd have to like color over the person and make it like brown, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's so necessary.
Yeah. Even in 2018.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You go to the store now, it used to be for little girls, what is the character? Doc McStuffins.
Yeah.
So they don't even carry her anymore.
Oh,
That's
wow.
crazy. That's crazy.
And even with, I spoke to one of the store managers at Party City in Atlanta, and they limit everything. So
They do.
if they bring one in, they take the other one out. And I want the little muffin cakes to be in Party City.
Yeah.
So if you're listening out there, I definitely
Yeah,
want my
shoot that
products
shot,
there.
girl. Shoot it. Okay, so we are going to be doing more nursing tops. I think we're looking at like 2 more sayings, and we are looking also to get our shirts, our regular shirts, non-nursing tops, in more boutiques as well. And we went that route. Like you said, it was just something where we had to stop and think of like what's going on, like why are we not hearing anything. And so it was one of those things that took some time, because we had to get our wholesale prices down, and then but once we got it down, then it was good to go. And so I think for some people it's also a little easier to have like some skin in the game, and then they push it more, because we had another store who had them on consignment, and like I had to ask them, like, is everything okay? Do you like the product? Because you didn't see it anywhere. And on the website, not anything. And I was just like, we're paying, like, for these up front for them just to sit there. Or sometimes, like, they would have sold. And then they're like, oh, yeah, we were going to sit. And it's like, no, that's not how this, is going
And it's
to
funny,
work.
I know for us, we post quite a bit usually on social media, but we're selective in what we post. We think about it. Okay, what are you going to post today? We're going to post products or whatever. So if we have to make a decision to post a product, we're going to post a product honestly where we'll get the biggest bang for our buck, where we get the biggest return. So consignment items would go, to the bottom of the list. And I hate to say it like that, or that you don't have skin in the game, but I mean, you kind of do. I mean, we want to sell it. They were cute. We had it on a mannequin right up in front. We wanted people to buy them, but at the same time, we've got a whole store full of things that we've already paid for,
right, for sure,
that we need to move. So
no, and it makes sense. And so that was when we made that transition. But then other that off of our apparel, we're also going to be partnering with a teen mom organization, and just to interact with them, with some of our other moms, and kind of do like a mommy meetup with them, just so they know like their moms too, like just because they had their child young, whether it be a mistake, whether it be like, I was just out here, living, whatever. It's like the child's not a mistake,
definitely not.
Whatever. You're still a mom. You still make the same decisions, if not more, because you're still worried about high school. You're still worried about college. You're still worried about where am I going to get this money from, because you don't have a job, so you're, it's not necessarily that they're more stressed than a mom who waited and who has the financial support of, herself or her husband or whatever, may have, but she has just as equally the amount of stresses, and so we are coming together and partnering with them, and we're really excited. Just
that's really cool.
I like that.
I'm sorry. One thing we didn't talk about is that you were on the CW.
I
recently.
was. Yeah.
So talk about that.
I mean, I'm listening. All right. That came out organically. Again, I shot that shot, and they took it and ran with it, and they were so excited, and we had so much positive feedback. And we really wanted to convey that it wasn't just, cute shirts. We wanted to make sure people knew that we are, out in the community, and our heart is, to reach out and minister to moms, all over. You can look cute doing it, by all means, buy a shirt. Funding.
Yes.
So we can, help you more and, have the money to do more things for you. But so, yeah, you can look cute in our shirts, but we also are out in the community and, doing stuff that's like a lasting impact.
Right. And that was so neat to watch.
Yeah.
And Lauren was there too.
You. Yes.
So yeah, it was really
August
nice.
was a little superstar.
I want to go back to your teen moms.
Yeah.
Like, because they're so young, some people would disregard them as being mothers.
Yeah, no.
And so I really
that's
applaud you for that.
that's really cool.
Yeah, it really
that's
is.
really cool.
It really is.
Yeah. I mean, it was one of those things. We had a women's conference at our church, and we took up an offering and I lost it. Like, we're in the middle. We had an amazing conference. And it's not that the spirit hadn't moved, but I wasn't like, emotional. I was just like pumped. I was ready to go. And then at the end of the service, we had taken up an offering for them because they're sending these girls. So like they take these girls to a camp, and it's like empowerment and leadership camp, and they do it with the babies. Like, the babies come too, and so they have like babysitters on site and things like that, so these girls can receive, they've given so much so they can receive some nurturing as well. Y'all, they're surprising them and taking them to Disneyland. Oh. I lost it. I was like, and so after that, I spoke with the coordinator, and I was like, hey, like, we are going to be partnering with y'all. So really as nice. Long as, and she's like, of course, it's just, I just think it's so awesome that they put, that they have to push through, and they have to stay and deal with stigmas and things like that, and so we just we want to do something for every single mom, and they are moms.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really nice.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so what have been some of you, we talked about obstacles, what about that's a success story for sure.
Yeah, for sure. That
Do you
means
have
it's your turn.
Yeah.
Success stories?
Success stories. What obstacle has been moved?
Oh my goodness. Success is just like seeing my product
I see your product everywhere.
Yeah, and when I did a pop-up here at the fairground, the lady was like, you look familiar. I know your products, but you look, I was like, wait, well, hold on. You know my products? Like, how do you know my products?
Yeah.
I just launched in August. So,
and
I haven't
really
even
crazy.
it hasn't even been a year yet.
Right. I know I see Little Muffin Cakes everywhere, and not just because you're posting it, just it pops up, on Instagram over and over again. It's like, and I'm like, oh, that's Little Muffin Cakes. Well, again, yes, I'm proud for you. It's like, that's really, it's really, really great. And like I said, so many people comment on how cute the characters are.
And when you create something, I guess you feel like a regular artist. You know how singers,
for sure.
So you create something, and you're like, okay. Today's
put it
lunch
out there.
day. Okay, let's see what happens. And you don't really expect people to really like it. You're hoping that they like it.
Right.
But I have repeat customers, and this is a baby shower go-to, and I get orders from Baby List. You guys are familiar with Baby List? So some of them come through Baby List, and I'm like, I need to get listed on Baby List.
Now, do you consider Little Muffin Cakes a product for any race?
It is for any race, but definitely brown children should be able to see themselves. Right. As a mother, you're pregnant, and they're so excited when they're like, "Are you serious? A brown ballerina?" So
what's interesting about that, though.
Are we about to say the same thing?
Yeah, is that we don't ask that question.
Exactly.
If we see a book with white children on it or whatever, we never say, "Oh, this isn't for me. Let me put it down." It's like, this is all that we have, so I'll just take this.
That's
exactly.
But we definitely every time somebody comes in, that's not black, and they pick it up, I always wonder, will they actually buy it?
Yeah.
And the answer has been no,
really?
Which is why I asked you that. People, they will pick it up and say it's cute, which it is.
Yeah.
But they feel the same way we do. Representation matters. You want to
Yeah,
see
but
yourself.
same
We haven't been
time.
represented,
No,
so we see blonde ponytails on our kids all the time.
Exactly, for sure. And because we talked about this, we talk about this jokingly when you mentioned Disneyland. We talk about poor little, what's her name, Tatiana,
Right.
the Princess and the Frog.
only little black princess in the parade.
He has to kiss the frogs. Yeah. Well, but that's exactly what I was gonna say. It's like we've been so used to settling
Or Tiana.
Tiana.
and
Okay.
you know,
okay.
desensitizing our kids to looking at, well, you know, here's blue-eyed, blonde-haired Johnny, like, you know, that's in our household. It's not in my household, and actually we weren't even allowed to play with Barbie growing up. That's a whole nother story. But you know, it's in households that aren't white.
Yeah.
So it's like, why can't Little Muffin Cakes be in households that aren't?
Yeah.
And she has natural hair, so
There you go.
know it's like you're definitely not going to see her with Afro puffs.
Right.
You know, so that was what I wanted to do.
It's funny because growing up, for me, we didn't have black dolls. We only had white dolls.
Right.
But when I got to, I don't know, maybe the beginning of junior high school, they finally came out with a little black doll, and that I had. Her name was Soul. It was a set of 4 dolls. They were Love, Peace, Soul, and something else. And Soul, of course, was the little black child, little black doll, Barbie doll size with a little afro. And I wish I still had her, but I loved that doll because that was the first doll I ever had that looked like me.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Makes sense.
And I have parents tell me that when they see their kids are, you know, bigger and can speak, she looks just like me. You know, so that means a lot to me, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it would be nice if you had a doll actually at some point.
Yes, I know. It's just the investment part of it.
Yeah.
Hey, look, that's easy for me to say because I don't have to pay for it. So you should do this and you should do that.
Right. That's all
And what about a movie?
And then when you have baby products, you have to also everything has to have safety standards. And so it's a lot.
Gosh, girl.
Yeah, so you can just make, you know, small batches of stuff. I had to buy a lot of stuff.
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you're definitely everywhere. I know you've been at shows in Atlanta and
Yes, the Village Market was like I've never
that
experienced.
was at Christmas time, right?
Yeah, it was a Black Friday. So I've never even shopped in a venue where it was, you know, all black businesses represented. But
Was it?
Yes, and it was beautiful. I mean, it was just so much. And one of the ladies that stopped at the booth, she said, I don't have kids this age, but thank you for doing this. And so, you know, I got to hug and play with all. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
So if you can go to like a big event, then yes, it's awesome.
While we talk about things that are coming up, you did you have the wrapping paper, which is like for a baby shower or a baby gift or whatever. Are you going to have a maybe birthday party?
Actually, I have. Oh my God, you're reading my mind. Birthday Girl is being delivered today, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I can, you know, I'll show you guys some of that probably tonight. Probably put it on my Insta story.
Oh, okay. All right.
we'll
Well,
be looking for
we will.
that.
Yeah, we will definitely be looking for that.
Yeah.
Y'all are getting the scoop.
I know. Exclusive.
Coming soon.
So as we begin to wrap up, do either of you have maybe like your number one thing you would tell somebody who's wanting to start a small business or to start their own thing? What is the number one thing you think they should know or do?
They should be passionate about what they're going into business for. Don't go into business that you see someone else in if it's not your passion, because you're not going to want to do it. It's like work.
Right.
This is a lot of work.
For
And so if
sure.
you say, oh, she has a t-shirt business, I can do that. And then you're going to get t-shirts and you don't want to, you're not even into retail. So it's just not the right, or people that, you know, a lot of people are going into skincare and, you know, shea butters and all that stuff. If you're really not going to do something to make your product different and stand out,
Don't bother.
yeah, because, you know, I try to make something as unique as possible. So anybody comes, you know, people are going to do this. I already know that. But Little Muffin Cakes was first.
There you go. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
Yes, yes. I honestly have not seen anything else like it. Have you?
Yeah.
No.
I haven't.
Excuse me.
No, not at all.
Carmen?
So, I think for me, it would have to be the same thing. Like, if you're not ready for, you know, to stay up past your quote unquote bedtime, then, because I think for me and Deb, we were talking and it was like, I don't even remember. It was like 10 something at night. But that was when we were free. Like, you just got to get it in when you can. And so, for me, I was actually in retail for 10 years. You know, I worked all my way up to being a manager for just for one store, and over, you know, it was like 57 employees. Like, it was where I wanted to be, and it gave me no satisfaction. And so actually right before we got married, my husband, you know, was just like, you know, just do your concierge business. And so when I started that, that's when I felt finally that empowerment, and I felt happy because it, like she said, it's work. So if you're not happy during your work, then it's not, you know, it's not going to be fulfilling to you. And it's also going to come across in your products, because you're not going to want to sit there and be troubleshooting, you know, different ideas with people, coming up with ideas, you know, late at night, rolling over and like putting it on your notes because you just had this drink. You know, you're not going to want to be doing any of that. And so with Codename Mama, you know, my sister graduated from SMU with a journalism degree, but she wasn't in journalism. I was like, girl, if you don't get over here and do something. And so that was, you know, that was why that was one of the things that prompted us, you know, when we started Codename Mama, you know, so she does her blog, because I'm like, you proofread all of my papers, and, you know, so use your gift. And so just if you're starting a business, be passionate, you know, be confident, because just because you do see someone else, you know, the Lord gave you your ideas for a reason. And so if you don't do that, then no one else is going to do it. Someone else might do something similar, but it's not going to be yours. So there's always a purpose in, you know, your product. And so you just got to have that confidence. You know?
And I would definitely say be fearless as well. Yeah. I say all the time, you know what I'm going to say, that I say I just jump and hope the parachute works. You know, if you spend a lot of time thinking about what you're going to do without actually doing it, you're going to talk yourself out of it. And if you have an idea and you feel like, okay, this is it, do it. Like you said, you don't have to, you know, jump through all the hoops, cross all the every single T, and cross all the I's, dot all the I's. It's the age right up front. You know, you could do it as you go along. Everything doesn't have to be taken care of up front. You just jump. If you jump out there, once you put it out there, it's almost you almost
like,
have to.
Yeah, it's like I gotta do it now.
Yeah, just take the leap. Don't be afraid, and you know, you will have you'll learn lessons along the way. Some of them may hurt. But they are lessons, and you learn from them. You pick up and dust yourself off and keep it pushing. We've had several. Yeah. I've been an entrepreneur the majority of my life. The vast majority of my life.
Even selling T-shirts at Venice Beach.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, that was way back in the 80s. We actually called them key shirts. Because my name is Kima, so they were key shirts. But we actually went to the alleys in LA. People in LA know what I'm talking about. But we would go and get these, because I'm from LA. I don't know if I said that. But we would go and get boxes of T-shirts, and we would make up Rit dye, and we would splash Rit dye on the T-shirts to make the color. And we would shred the sleeves and shred the bottom. No two shirts were alike. But the concept was you could just slip it on over your swimsuit. So it was like a swimsuit cover up. Right. And people loved them. I should do that again.
Get some key shirts.
Come get your key shirt. But yeah, I've had business after business after business. But I wouldn't have it any other way. You've got, yes, and Tequila, I'm talking to you. She said, thank you for this, ladies. I needed this because I know that she's thinking about doing some things. So do it. Yeah. I would say jump.
And I would say, just to add to that, if you're thinking about starting a business, stay focused on what you're doing and not looking over your shoulder, because that can be kind of crippling in a way where maybe you had some idea and you see like, oh, my competitor's doing something like that. Well, what am I going to do now? It's like, keep focused.
And we actually had that. I mean, I can give that as an example that a competitor of ours continuously looked at everything just scrutinized and wasn't shy about it. It was like, I'm here.
She would come tell us.
I'm here. I see you. Or
really?
Yeah. I mean, she was absolutely obsessed with us. It was crazy. And we were thinking, Who has time for that?
You're doing big things then.
Sure, you need to know what your competitors are doing to a certain degree, but you can't watch every single move, and you gotta know what kind of moves you want to make. Where do you want to go? And you can't.
And when you're too busy looking at what other people are doing, it's like your focus is completely gone on your whole concept, your whole everything, because you're constantly reacting to what they're doing, and you never want to react to what anybody's doing in your industry. You want them to react to you.
Exactly. You know, it's like we're here, we're stomping with the big dogs. Okay, so catch us if you can.
Yeah, so that's definitely something I would add. Just stay focused on what you're doing. Don't lose sight of it. Just focus.
I have one thing to add about that. Find friends that are also in business. Not your business, not competing businesses, but someone that understands what you're going through, so they can kind of steer you in the right direction. The days when you just like, okay, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm done. Yeah. And they can say, I know you're having a little moment. You're okay.
But it's motivation too.
It's having friends to help you.
It is definitely helpful, because people that don't have a business, it's hard to understand. And I think you had a conversation with an old friend of yours, and he said basically, I look at what you're doing, in admiration, but ain't nobody doing that.
Exactly. And because your family and friends, they don't understand. Yeah. So you need somebody that's going to understand what you're actually going through.
Sure. That's for sure. So good points, ladies. Okay, so we need to take our last break. Can you believe we're at that point? We will be back with I don't know why I keep wanting to mess up your name, and it's so simple. Yes. Deborah and Carmen, and we will continue our discussion on business, motherhood, and grandmotherhood right after this song, which we can't hear.
Right. I was just about to say, what song?
mic's on.
No, I'll tell you when it's.
Welcome back to Natural Parenting Talk with Lauren Akima. We are here with Deborah Rainey and Carmen King, and we are discussing business, motherhood, and grandmotherhood. And I keep saying we're discussing grandmotherhood, but we really haven't talked a lot about that. Other than we're so happy to be grandparents, we can love on them and send them home.
Yes.
But let's switch back to motherhood again, really quick, because we haven't talked about how you balance being a mom and taking care of little ones, especially as a first time moms. How do you balance that? How do you balance business and motherhood? That has to be difficult, especially because both your sons are around the same age, so they're at that needy stage where they're in and at that stage where you can't take an eye off of them for a second.
For sure.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I think I'm still honestly trying to figure it out, really. I think it's helpful that I'm able to bring August with me to work. I can't imagine being in a situation where I didn't have that option, which I know a lot of, that's true for a lot of working moms having to, think of childcare and things like that with their child. So I am, thankful and all of that I'm able to bring August with me to work. But that means that August is with me at work.
Right.
Trying to find time to get things done in between, his whining and in between wanting to nurse all day and all of that. So that's why I say, I am still trying to figure out that balance, of giving him the attention that he needs and deserves, but also giving work the attention that it needs and deserves. So unfortunately, I don't think I have an answer yet.
I think that even when you do, kind of to touch on that, even when you do find a balance, there's always something to throw it off balance, like a second kid.
Yeah.
And so, when she gets here, you're going to have to find a whole new balance.
Yeah, true.
So I think the best way to be balanced is to be flexible. And I've definitely learned that, so for me, I work from home. So I have to really guard his time and work time and make sure even though there's emails and there's, this store that I need to talk to, but I don't want to be sitting there on my phone all day when he's playing and trying to interact with me and whatnot. And so right now it's, I get a lot of things done during bedtime and which is totally fine for me because I was always and still am a night owl. And so I just have to stay flexible and know that it's one of those things like Rome wasn't built in a day and not even 2 days, but brick by brick it was built. And so that's been really my thing. It's just kind of like keeping a level head, being flexible, not taking my frustration out on my business or my son, if he's being fussy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like making sure I stay in check with, myself and my emotions.
Do you have any suggestions for these new moms?
Oh gosh, I've done my time.
Don't you love saying that?
Yes, I love it. My son is 21 and my daughters are 27. So,
Gracious.
you can do this.
Right.
Yeah.
You will survive.
You will survive. Yes. I think nursing mothers have it a little different though. So I didn't nurse my children.
Oh, okay.
My hat's off to you.
Yeah.
You have to be super mom to be a nursing mother.
Yeah, especially for a toddler with teeth.
Toddler with teeth, a toddler. He's almost 30 pounds. So I'm like, bruh, get off me. Get off. I can't even breathe because anytime I lay down, whether it be the couch, I'm just trying to watch TV, and I'm laying on the couch. Here he comes running. And so, like, he'll eat standing up. I'm like, even when we're in the shower and I'm trying to just give him a bath, and I'm like, bruh.
Yep. I recently had to nurse and change my son's diaper at the same time. Yeah. That's how fussy he was.
Yeah. Yeah. And mine doesn't take a passy. He didn't take a passy, nor did he take a bottle, so I'm bowl.
Yeah. Wow, that's funny. Yeah, that's rough. So, do both of you plan to homeschool, or I know Lauren does?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I knew Lauren did. I want to, and I don't. I know this sounds like super hypocritical when you're just like believing yourself and things like that, but I have like learning disabilities, and so I'm like, I was actually homeschooled, so I'm a big advocate for homeschooling. I just don't know if I am capable to homeschool, and in some degrees I'm okay with that, because that's how much I value my kids' education. I want to make sure they are having the best education. So I always tell my mom, I'm like, hey, if you want to come out of retirement, and homeschool our kids, then yes. But if not, we're definitely looking at like charter schools and, things like that. But
now let me ask you this. What do you think about all this natural parenting community and all that? Now this is relatively new to me. Some of these things are relatively new to me since we opened Crunchy Boutique. I don't know how new any of this is to you.
Very new to me.
But isn't it a trip?
Yes.
Like, what?
It's a lot of work. What? You guys, I mean, we love our kids too, but
yeah, it's amazing. I envy you all to a certain degree, because I wish that I knew about the things that you know now and had the opportunity to do some of those things. Obviously, we did the best we could with what we knew. But I
did a good job.
Thank you. But I look at it and it's like, oh, that would have been so fun.
Yeah.
So yeah. And it's nice to be in the support role. So I would definitely support you all and everything. I just love it. So I guess I'm living vicariously through you all at this point. But it's a wonderful thing. I think you guys are doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
Amazing jobs as moms, really. And hopefully other people are watching too, and you're being a light in their life and encouraging them and that kind of thing. So I just think it's great. I can't believe that we're at the point that we are now, where it's time for us to wrap up.
Yes, but before we do, can you let people know where they can find you online, whether it's social media, website, or what have you?
Facebook is Little Muffin Cakes Baby Boutique. Instagram is at Little Muffin Cake, Little_Muffin Cakes. Twitter is LMC Baby Boutique.
Oh, okay. I was thinking.
Oh, and my website is littlemuffincakes.com.
There you go.
So Facebook for us, it's Codename Mama Blog. For Instagram, it's code_name_mama. So annoying. And then let's see, and our website is myshopify.com. It's on Shopify.
Lord.
It's long when you have to actually say it, but then you just click the link.
Yeah, I think in the future when we have guests, we'll put the links in the write-up, when we on Facebook. And
or just go to our and I always tell people, just go to our Instagram, because our link is always in our bio. We never change our link out. So if you just go to our Instagram at Codename Mama, our link for our shop is in our bio.
Okay. And we didn't get to talk about your concierge business much, but if somebody is interested in that service, where can they find you? Where can they contact you for that?
So you can honestly just email me.
Okay.
At I just did a new one, so it wasn't overflowing. But so THECK, my initials, firm, FIRM. Yeah, firm. See that? So the ckfirm@gmail.com.
Okay.
Or call me 214-912-0893. I made the mistake. We had a show for Codename Mama on Saturday, and I also had a graduation party that I had coordinated. So I was dead on Sunday. And I'm just now living again. So I love it. Let me know, and I'll work you in.
Okay. Okay, it sounds great. And make sure you guys listening, look them up, definitely.
And let me say this before. We did have technical difficulties, and we realized that we didn't share when we restarted the Facebook Live. We didn't share it again. So we do want people to have the opportunity to see the broadcast. So anybody that's watching, if you could share it, I'd appreciate it, just so we can make sure that people learn about Codename Mama and Little Muffin Cakes.
Yes.
We appreciate it, and we thank you all that did listen.
So we want to remind you again that Birth Texas is a 501c3 nonprofit organization empowering expecting moms and birth workers through education and community events. Join them on July 21st right here in Arlington at the Arlington Convention Center as they welcome Shafia Monroe for a fun-filled event on childbirth and parenting. Check out their Facebook group for more information or visit birthtexas.org to access their online guide of evidence-based birth providers and childbirth and parenting events throughout the Metroplex. Empower yourself with Birth Texas. Also, Crunchy Boutique will be celebrating 1 year in business on June 15th and June 16th. Yay! Join us for an anniversary party on June 15th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. There will be food, fun, giveaways, and champagne. Visit Crunchy Boutique on social media to find out about all of the ways that you can win amazing prizes between now and our anniversary. You can find us on Facebook at Crunchy Boutique TX and on Instagram at Crunchy_Boutique. It's the countdown to the celebration. Woo-woo. Thank you also to our listeners and Facebook Live viewers. Be sure to catch us each and every Monday from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Central on Fishbowl Radio Network on fbrn.us in the green stream, or find us on our Facebook page, Natural Parenting Talk with Lauren and Kima. If you'd like to continue on today's discussion, please feel free to comment on the video on Facebook and we will respond. You'll want to be sure to tune in next week when we welcome an awesome mama, Addie Fisher, known as Old World New on social media. She is a sustainable living queen. We are going to talk about sustainable living, thrifting, and other topics. So be sure that you tune in for that, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Thank you again. Bye.
Yay, I love Addie. That was awesome, guys.